Cold email can generate 30 plus meetings for your business every single month on autopilot. That is, if you know how to write campaigns that actually convert. My name is Isaac Wood and I'm the founder of levergrowth.io. We've sent over 2 million cold emails in the last 8 months and have helped generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue to our clients' businesses. And in this video, I'm going to do a live walkthrough of my step-by-step process to building a targeted list, of scoring that list for prioritization so you can reach out to those ideal fit prospects first, and how to actually write copy that converts cold leads into warm, interested prospects. Now let's dive into the video. 5 easy steps to build a campaign inside of Clay. So the first thing we'll do is create an ICP or an ideal customer profile to define our target audience. We'll then build a target company list inside of Clay. We'll then enrich and score those companies based on good fit criteria. We'll find the email addresses of decision makers at those best fit companies, and then we'll write copy speaking directly to the target audience. So 5 steps here. It's going to be a live workflow. Let's have some fun. So in terms of creating an ideal customer profile, so in this case, I want to use a HubSpot CRM implementation agency as the basis for our campaign. So did a quick Google search, found this company, BBD Boom. Looks like they're a growing HubSpot partner agency. And so now I'm clicking into their website. So just seeing what they do, right? All this kinds of HubSpot specific stuff. They have a handful of industries that they actually work with. It looks like software, IT, communications, media publishing, professional services, property sector, manufacturing, financial services. So in terms of actually, finding these ideal types of companies, let's look and see what if they have any good case studies here. Let's see their clients. All right, so this is going to be Alchemist. They've streamlined their HubSpot processes. So not exactly sure what they are, but let's look. By going into Apollo, find this company. Technology-led risk management software. Interesting. All right, so now let's go into Apollo. All right, so they're an IT company. They're 610 employees. Let's see who they worked with. So Jasmine De Los Reyes. So she's a senior marketing executive. Okay, so that's going to give us some good data on our targeting. So company IT. Let's say employee size is going to be, call it 100 to 1,000. Title, marketing executive. So CMO, VP of marketing, marketing directors. So IT industry, employees, that size, titles of that size. So I assume their technology that they use is likely going to include HubSpot, I'd imagine. If you can see this here. There you go. All right, so okay, so we have a pretty good sense for our company list so far. 100 to 1,000 as a range. I mean, this company size was 600, so let's just keep it that for now. In the technology, all right, cool. So this is a pretty good start. So we'll talk about how we're going to use all this in a second. So now we have an idea of your ideal customer profile. What you really want to do is build this out to have 3, 5, 10 ideal fit companies so you can get a really good cross section. But in the interest of this demo, we'll just do one company as the basis. So now let's go into Clay. The first thing we want to do is create a new table. And in this case, we're going to find companies. So we're going to build a dream company list. And so what we'll do is we will select an industry. And so this one will do information technology. All right, so we're applying this in terms of the company size. So that company, it was 500 to 1,000. So we'll just select that one, based in the US. And then let's see if we have any good keywords. Call it in the US. Okay, so now we have 238. So you can see, right, how having a bigger ICP would allow you to enter in more keywords. So by entering more keywords, you're going to get more companies that could be a good fit. And the good thing about using the find companies data source inside of Clay is they include a company description, which is going to be really helpful for our analysis. So let's import to a new table. And so you can do fully enrich the companies. You can add the tech stack, job openings, total funding. Again, this is going to charge some credits here. So if you want to do this, I would suggest opening up your table, doing some filtering, making sure you do in fact want to include all this stuff before you do it, because it will charge your credits. So let's just continue for free. Okay, cool. So now we have a company list. Primary industry is going to be IT. We have company descriptions for most of this. Okay. Okay, good. So a couple things here. Let's build, so we built our target company list. Again, like the things to note here are keyword. So you want to use like similar keywords from your ideal customer profile analysis. And we'll also want to take a look at their company description. This is important because you want the description to create personalizations and do AI-based research. So we have those two things, and then we'll do like technology. So like I said, there is the enrichment you can do automatically, but in this case, we will just do it on a handful of these so we don't have to use all the credits. So we'll hit add enrichment. Here, let me move this over actually. Right, so let's do add enrichment here. All right, so in this case, we'll do technology. So this is a pretty nifty little integration. So they will search with built with, and then if they can't find it with built with, then they'll do predict leads. We'll just do one for now. But if you have your API keys, you can use those, save credits. You can also just remove them if you don't want it. So the company domain here, we'll include this, and then we'll say, only run if, well, I was going to say if domain exists, but it's not going to charge the credit if there's no domain. So let's just do it on the first 10 to see how it goes. All right, cool. So now we found all these different technologies. You can click into it, kind of see what the prompt looks like, see what some of the results look like. So what we can do then is click into these and see what all the technology is. So what we can do is, what we're going to do now is basically figure out if this tech stack includes HubSpot. There's a couple ways you could go about this. You could just search for a specific keyword. If you go into this edit column and you do this keyword filter, so you could type in like HubSpot here, and then that would only give you results of these keywords. I'm not going to do that because we just got all of them. So what I'll do instead is just an AI formula, which is a pretty cool feature they have. So if you just go to formulas, and then you can actually type in what you want and it'll pump out, I think it's JavaScript, and it'll give you a good result. So in this case, we'll say if tech stack contains HubSpot, then true. If not, then false. All right, so we got one true on here. All right, so let's see. There. Right there. Cool. So that looks right. So, if you run this whole thing, it's going to cut your list down. Ideally, since we're a HubSpot agency, we want to only work with companies that have HubSpot for the most part, or you would work on getting them transitioned into HubSpot. I would say it's probably going to be a better use of your time to only work with those who have the technology already. So, these guys probably don't want to hit up as a initial non-starter. So the next thing that you want to do here, let's go back to our little list. So we'll say like HubSpot in their tech stack. Okay, cool. So now let's go back and say, all right, we want to make sure that these businesses are all either B2B, and we'll target them if they're B2B, but we don't want to target them if they're B2C. So what you can do we'll just do a little chat GPT prompt. All right, so let's try it. All right, so B2B, B2C, B2B, B2B, B2B. All right, cool. So let's just run on the first 10. Okay, so I'm gonna remove any row that doesn't include a company description. Is not empty. Yep. So now all of our data is showing. we don't have any empty rows. So let's actually run a few more of these so we can actually get some meaningful data to see. So let's run another, we're at 10, 26, let's run 16 rows. Okay, so you'll see, yeah, this one doesn't look like, I'm not sure why it's not pulling through. Okay, so you're starting to see, right, like true, 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 these are false. All right, so now let's run these. Oh, maybe this one didn't run because I said start from 11. So let's see. Cool. Okay, so now we know. Let's see. Looks like these guys, I mean, this specific ICP, that's this is going to be a B2B company. So we probably only want B2B. And let's just make sure that, you know, this company mentions like technologies in their company description. So if they don't mention technology or technologies, then it would be, you know, call it not a good fit, because for whatever reason, right, like this company only works with technology focused businesses for this specific use case. So if company description contains technologies, all right, so just like a simple if-then statement. And then what we're going to do in a second is actually use the criteria that we have as a way to score our leads. And we'll assign values to each of these different enrichments that we've done. So let's click into that. Cool, so true, false. All right, so I want to add one thing here. That's false. Okay. So we have, does this company use HubSpot? Are they B2B or B2C? And do they include technology in their company description? This could be useful, like if you only work with marketing agencies, if you only work with businesses that service a certain type of industry. And so in those company descriptions, they should include certain keywords, and you can list out a whole, you know, reference guide of keywords to do this check. So now let's actually score the leads. So this reason why you want to score a lead is you are able to prioritize better. So when you're actually doing your outreach, or your SDR is doing their outreach, they have a list of leads. They have a list of thousands of leads. They can start from the top or start at A and move their way down. Or they can do some manual research and start to see, all right, like going into Apollo and then going into LinkedIn Sales Nav and checking out what's this company look like, how big are they, what title are they, all that stuff. Instead, you can do the prioritization this way by scoring the leads on a company by company level, and then only enrich data for those that satisfy a certain number of criteria, and then prioritize based on that scoring. So let's do that now. So we'll go add enrichment. So they have a built-in scoring algorithm here. So let's say there's 3 different scoring criteria. So let's add the fields now. And so let's do this. So the first thing we want to do is if they have HubSpot. So this is going to be very, very high value for us. So we'll assign a large score to these values if they're true. So HubSpot presence. Okay, so to summarize what I just did here, so basically looking at this row, HubSpot preference, making sure the text equals whatever the keyword is. So the 2 keywords that we're searching for are true and false. And in this case, we're assigning 100 points to true and negative 100 points to false. So you can have like maybe or some other thing, and you can assign another score there, and so on and so forth. So that's why it's good to, do like these true false kind of binary scoring. It's a lot easier to capture it all, and then you can fiddle with these formulas versus doing it in the row scoring. There's a really million ways to go about this, but this is just one. So let's do the next one, scoring this criteria. So we'll do company B2B. Company type response. So the comparison, we'll do equal for our keywords. It'll just be B2B or B2C. And then for scores, we'll do, because it's less important, but still very important, because it looks like this company still does work with B2C companies, but let's just say, it's still very important. So we'll call it 75 minus 75. And now let's do our third one. So that one's going to be tech description. So value to score will be tech description check. I'm going to do equals. The keywords will be true and false. And for our scores, they will be 10 and negative 10. Because with this one, right, like we're only searching for the LinkedIn company keywords. If we have like SEO description as well, you can add more text to search through, and so that'll just give you a better, like more robust response. We have limited data here, so we're not going to give it a huge amount of importance, right? So the fact that they have HubSpot is going to be way more important than the fact that they may or may not have tech written in their company description. All right, so now that we have all of our scores added, let's go to add fields, and we'll give it score as a new column. And then we'll even just take a look at that. Save and run it in this view. Okay, so now we have our scores. So we can look into what they are exactly, and we can even sort them. But you'll see we have some negatives, we have a couple high scoring, bunch of negatives, some decent scores, some lower scores. So now let's sort based on score. We'll say high to low. And bang, right? So based on this like quick little search here, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 who would be like pretty good fits. And then the rest of these you could go through and either decide not to deal with them or actually go and reach out to them. But now you have your list prioritized. So let's go back here. We've scored them based on technology, scored based on B2B or B2C, and then we've scored based on the presence of tech keyword in okay, cool. So now we have our list of companies. We now will put them into a people list. So let's find those good fit companies. So we'll go back, we'll go to create new, we'll go to create a new table. In this case, we'll do find people data right here at the top. The way that you do this, you go into companies, you want to already use a clay table. So in this case, it was July 12. All right, so this is the table that we just worked out of. So what we want to do is search the companies. So this is going to be pulling from LinkedIn, not directly from LinkedIn. I believe they use like a data provider, so it might have some delay and it might not be like 100% up to the moment accurate, but as far as I've seen it, it works perfectly fine and is very accurate. So just a little caveat there. So including job titles, let's go back to our list. We determined, right, marketing executives. So let's just say marketing director, marketing VP, and then CMO. Okay, so we'll put in our relevant titles. We're only seeing 15 results here because we're only looking at 26 different companies, which were the companies that we had actually been doing the enrichments for earlier on. So let's just do this list. Obviously, if you built it out, you would have substantially like more individuals that you could be targeting. But in this case, this will be good for actually doing this will be good for the workflow. So let's import to a new table. Let's continue for free. So now what you can do is, you can even pull in data from that other table that you just played with. So right? You have the technology stack, you have the scores, you can look at all the things you've enriched from that previous table, which is pretty cool. In this case, let's just add this one as a column. These are our people. It's our company domain. Here's our lead score. Cool, cool, cool. So it looks like we're pulling mainly people from good scores anyway, which is good. So now what do we want to do next? Let's add an email address. So let's add an enrichment. Let's go ICPs, since I've been using them lately. They've been working pretty well. Full name, company domain, do we have it? Most cases we do. It's good to go. Let's run on 10 rows. So we'll only want to run that one if okay, yeah. So if this email is invalid, that looks right. So unfortunately, like, we're not finding a crazy amount of email addresses right now. That's not the end of the world. We just keep running this through the waterfall. And they have an enrichment where you can basically do this automatically, but I just wanted to show you how to do it. So anyway, you have a couple email addresses from this list that you can use to do outreach to. So now we have like valid email. Oops, let's make sure you can see it. Valid email addresses for like high or best fit companies. And then you just take this list and you continue to build it out. And look, we found another one. So we got 3 out of 10. That's 30%. You know, you'd continue to use additional data sources. You'd probably find 60 to 80% of these at the end of the day. Then you'd validate them. And then now you want to write some copy. So there's a lot of ways you can go about this. We'll go pretty simple, pretty basic framework, which is if I could help you achieve X result without Y bad thing, would you be interested in speaking? Right, so hey, name, we're working with IT companies, with B2B IT, to help them build out workflows, report on the success of products, workforce productivity, and reduce operational risk. So to me, that sounds like to help save 10 hours per week managing their sales pipeline with automated CRM workflows that help add 10x more leads or conversions. right, so let's see, this is pretty wordy, but we can cut it down. So, hey, name, we're working with B2B IT companies to help save 10 hours per week managing their sales pipeline with automated CRM workflows. And you could say, we recently helped Alchemists add 10x more conversions without having to manually update and manage their CRM. Oops, can't even see this. Hey, name, we're working with B2B IT companies to help save 10 plus hours per week managing their sales pipeline with automated CRM flows. We've recently helped Alchemists at 10x more conversions without manually updating, without the need of manual data updates or follow-ups. Oh, let's just do that, follow-ups. For manual email follow-ups, would you be interested in seeing how we can help you too? Bang. All right, so you'd send this email to those 3 people, something like that, and that would be it. All right, so that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe. If you actually want to have me build you a Clay workflow, then book some time in at the link below. I'd be happy to have a chat with you to see if it'd be a good fit. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.